Hey everybody, this is Everyday Commentary. I'm going to do a little Sweet Stuff Saturday on this setup right here. First of all, there's nothing on the workbench. We finished the desk. I'm probably going to start a cornhole set today. I'm not sure if that's going to be something that I can get done. It's not a terribly complicated project. I just need some time to go do it. So I don't have anything planned on a Sunday today. It's actually a Sunday. So maybe I'll run and go get a cornhole set. Stuff to build a cornhole set. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about hot weather and everyday carry. So it is the middle of May here in New England, and it is pretty warm. Yesterday it hit 95. Fortunately, we got our pool open, so it's not too bad. But around this time, I would typically carry something like this, which is a small to mid-sized folder, this being the Spyderco Brewer with the Lynch pocket clip, and a compact flashlight like this one, which is the 4.7's Mini Mark III Turbo, and it's turbo because it has a little bit bigger head. So that's what I would normally be carrying on a day like today. But because the temperatures are so hot, I typically wear extra thin shorts. And when I'm wearing extra thin shorts, stuff like that kind of bulks me down. And it makes it hard to like move around and run and chase your kids and stuff like that. So this is a set that I made a couple of months ago. I've had this, the Veleno Designs 38DD, which was the prototype for the Quantum and the Quantum 2 for a long time. This is it runs an exceptionally small, I think it's a 10880 battery, and it has a really nice, like just deliciously warm emitter, and it is as you can see, let's see if I can get it to work, just a little bit more. You can see there that it's a quantum tunneling composite. This is the first flashlight commercially available that I know of that had a quantum tunneling composite. This was before the Peak, before the Tiny Nugget, before a bunch of flashlights that now run quantum tunneling composite. And as you can see, you know, some of the disadvantages of quantum tunneling composite is that it can have sort of jittery output where it kind of stair steps or waves as it goes up, or skips as it goes up the lumens counts. One thing that Veleno did here is that he made the thread super duper smooth, and smooth threads produce smoother quantum tunneling composite. It's a very sensitive mechanism. As you can see, it goes from like almost nothing to like boom, full bore in just a couple of millimeters of twisting. So I also took it and I attached it to a Spyderco Jester. This is the Knife Joker 20CV exclusive, and it has the glow-in-the-dark FRN handles. This little setup, this like combination of a flashlight and a pocket knife with the split rings, that was something that I saw a Spider Collector do. He did this with a, what's it called? The little press ones, the LRI Adams, I think that's what it is. And just subcompact Spydercos. And the big benefit is it actually gives you something to hold on to past the handle of the knife, because this is a really small knife. And so it gives you just a little bit of extra length. It's like a lanyard that's functional, like, go figure. Or a lanyard bead, more accurately, that's functional. This is a really small knife. I mean, it has a 1.94 inch blade. It weighs 0.96 ounces total. This weighs just over an ounce. And so for about 2 ounces, you have a pretty competent EDC. You can't really do food prep with a knife this small. Like splitting an apple is just out of the question. Cutting an apple is out of the question. You can still cut a sandwich, but not an apple. And but you still get a lot of the cutting performance of a knife. Like, you know, I've broken down cardboard with this. I've opened up boxes with this, and it does fine. And by the way, this is the best version of the Jester. I don't think there's really much question. This is the first one that I know of that had something better than VG10 steel. I have a personal hatred of VG10 steel. It is much harder to sharpen than the results would warrant. This is just a super compact little knife. And like I said, because it's so light and because it's so thin, you can just throw it in your pocket and go. You don't have to really worry about, you know, being weighed down. Like, this is a sub 3 ounce knife, and it is noticeably heavier than this setup here. You know, this is a pretty expensive setup. These things, this is a sprint run Spyderco, and this is a long out of production prototype. By the way, tritium still works. This is 10 years later, at least 10 years later, and tritium still works. So really good setup here. The alternative that I made for my son, instead of running the Jester, it's the Ladybug, which is a very good knife, not quite as fun as the Jester, and the 4.7's magnetic QR. So when you pop it off, the light turns on. And that's like maybe a 1/4 ounce heavier, and it serves the exact same function. It really works as well. I can't recommend having a small setup like this enough. Like, Spider Collector's idea of like linking these together to make each one more functional was really, really great. So on these hot days when it hits 95, this is likely what you're gonna find in my pocket. Also, if I forget and jump in the pool, like, not super great, but like not the worst thing in the world. 20 CV is pretty stain resistant. This is waterproof, so, or not waterproof, but IPX8, I guess, so it'll be fine. But that was just a quick Sweet Stuff Saturday for those hot and steamy days.